In a major update since ABC's decision to pull Jimmy Kimmel off the air, Dylan Byers of Puck has reported the following from ABC's parent company, Disney. Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision that we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last few days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. For those wondering, this is corporate speak for we have been hit with a deluge of cancellations, and because the only language we communicate in is money, now we understand that our decision to capitulate to Trump was perhaps not in our financial interest. Disney and ABC have been raked over the coals for days for their decision to leave their own talent, Jimmy Kimmel, twisting in the wind in an effort to bow down to Trump and his heavy-handed FCC. A massive movement to boycott the company and its properties took place, including at the hands of actors who themselves star in Disney properties. Tatiana Maslany, who's the star of Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which aired on Disney+, urged people to cancel their subscriptions to Disney services. Damon Lindelof, the creator of Lost and The Leftovers, threatened to stop working with ABC. Rosie O'Donnell called for a boycott of the network. Transparent star Amy Landecker posted an image of the cancellation page from her Disney Plus account. Hundreds of members of the Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild descended on Disney's headquarters in Burbank, California, to protest the move and show solidarity with Kimmel. And the move wasn't just limited to celebrities. According to Business Insider, the chatter online has also translated to an increase in people Googling instructions on how to do so, even as many conservatives, including Trump, praised the decision to suspend Kimmel. Search volume for canceled Disney Plus reached a 12-month high on Thursday, according to Google Trends, and continues to be elevated. Terms like boycott Disney Plus and boycott Disney are also listed as breakout searches on Google. Searches for cancel Hulu also soared. Even a bipartisan coalition of politicians and political commentators came out against the move. Tucker Carlson, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Andrew Schultz, the guys from the Flagrant podcast, Tim Dillon, Fox News' Kennedy, Glenn Greenwald, all criticized ABC capitulating to Trump and his FCC, all of which makes the decision by ABC to capitulate all the more cowardly. In the statement that was put out by Disney, they claimed that they wanted to, quote, avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. Bullshit. They pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air because Nexstar Media Group, which is the largest provider of local news in the country and operates ABC affiliate stations in dozens of markets across the U.S., is right now seeking FCC approval for a $6.2 billion merger with a company called Tegna. At the same time, FCC Chair Brendan Carr made it clear that he, like Trump, wanted Jimmy Kimmel off the air and would use the impending merger as leverage. He went on Benny Johnson's show and said this.
But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC. Again, there's actions that we can take on licensed broadcasters. And frankly, I think that it's really sort of past time that a lot of these licensed broadcasters themselves push back on Comcast and Disney and say, listen, we are going to preempt. We are not going to run Kimmel anymore until you straighten this out, because we licensed broadcaster, are running the possibility of fines or license revocation from the FCC if we continue to run content that ends up being a pattern of news distortions.
In other words, like a mob boss, he said exactly what he needed to say, using exactly the kind of language that ABC would understand. And ABC decided that rather than stand by their talent, because their goal is growth and money and shareholder value, no matter the cost, they would take the easy way out and give Trump and Carr exactly what they wanted. That is why they took him off the air. Not because they were worried about the temperature of the country. Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian. His literal job is to make jokes about everything. And let's not engage in revisionist history here and pretend that the joke that he made at the center of this scandal was in any way extreme.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
You mean to tell me that Jimmy Kimmel making fun of Donald Trump when he was asked about Charlie Kirk's killing and used that to launch into a diatribe about his $200 million ballroom is not fertile ground for a comedian? Give me a break. Again, it's bad enough that Disney capitulated to Trump. Let's not sully what little integrity that remains by engaging in revisionist history here. And look, if Kimmel wants to be on ABC, more power to him. I personally think ABC doesn't deserve him and showed their entire ass by revealing how eager and willing they were to bow down to Trump. At the same time, I want to reserve what little grace I can for those who do correct their mistakes. Do I think that it was for the right reasons that ABC did this? No. I think that ABC and Disney relented only because they got completely fucked by the boycott. But I would still rather them correct their mistake than do nothing about it. And so I think that while this company is cowardly and money hungry and anti-democracy, that this is still the best resolution possible in an overall terrible situation of their own making. To that end, one thing that I think this saga has revealed is that legacy media and the outlets that own those networks are not here in service of protecting our democracy. They are here to serve their own financial interests and that of their shareholders. These institutions only speak one language: money. They are not defenders of free speech. They are not defenders of the First Amendment. They are not defenders of democracy. They are businesses that operate solely in their financial interest. That's it. If ever there was an impetus to support independent media, I hope that this is it. So if you've not yet subscribed to this channel or my pages, which are and always will be completely free, please subscribe now, and please subscribe to other independent media outlets that are doing this work not for money, but for the right reasons, to protect our independence and our free speech rights and our democracy. And for all of those who participated in the boycott, of which I include myself, thank you for using the tools that you have at your disposal to make your voices heard. We have to remember that the dissolution of our democracy is not inevitable, that we have agency and we have a voice, and that the powers of be have to listen to us. If ever there was a reminder of the importance of staying engaged and activated and involved, this is it. Trump and his oligarchs may think that they're all powerful, but this should be a lesson in the fact that the real power here lies with all of us if we're willing to use it. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.